Beach FM, locals talking to locals.
On the telephone line, I've got our Kapiti Mayor, Guru. Kia ora, Guru.
Kia ora, and good morning to the listeners.
Yeah, not a bad morning out there. Good weekend for you. Busy time. I heard you were at the fair on the Waikano show, I should say, on
That's
Saturday.
Right. It was really good to be at a fair because exactly 1 year ago, the place was looking like a paddy field.
Yeah.
You know, the rain had come down, a few people, everybody made losses, but everybody, it was terrible, but at the same time it was good to see people just standing up there and doing the stuff despite the weather, so that was good. But yes, on Saturday it was fantastic because the weather was really good.
I suppose you weren't talking about...
Of course, Beach FM was down there, flying the flag.
Yeah. And I suppose you got bombarded by people wanting to talk about the airport.
Oh, yeah. The issue has never stopped.
Yes.
A lot of people are very upset. But I think we need to take a deep breath and say, look, you could... And I see Nathan Guy has put out a call for a petition to get the services reinstated. I think the key point is how quickly can we get scheduled flights back on stream. Whether it's Air New Zealand or somebody else like a provider like Air Chatham is what we are looking at.
Yes. You'll never change Air New Zealand's mind.
Well, I think we may be flogging a dead horse because there are wheels within wheels on that. And like I said publicly before, they operate at a national level and it's like a chessboard.
Yep.
And they're in competition. And so there must have been a lot of planning in subterfuge, counterfuge, or whatever it is that's been going on in the background, which we had no idea about until it landed on our laps.
Well, the staff in Auckland Air
in the
New
most bizarre way.
Sorry, I interrupted there. Where you go?
Well, we landed on us in the most bizarre. People still can't get their heads around the fact that we had an open day on one Saturday.
Yeah.
With them showing the wares in the plane and everything of the sort, and massive amount of people turned up. And then 5 days later, bang, goodbye.
Goodbye. Yeah, I was just saying the Air New Zealand staff in Auckland didn't get to know about it till about 9:30 on Friday morning. So whatever decision was made, it was made very hastily. Let's put it that way.
And I think, I don't think it was hastily done. I think it was done at a very high level, and it was precision timing, and they had to do it so that there wouldn't be any... It was a fait accompli and no time for people to organize against it, because we still need to understand that there are public shareholders in this Air New Zealand as a company.
Yep. Now, we've also had some phone calls saying we're pushing our own barrow here. A good number of people are quite happy for it to see it stop. They don't want the noise. And they said...
Well, I mean, look, the airport has been there since 1939 or 40. Okay. So people who move to the place around the airport, that's what it is.
But still, they've got a good argument, haven't they?
Just because of the noise. And then people who move into next to the expressway, they should close down the expressway.
Yeah, because once we get more flights in and out, say, we might get more flights in and out of, say it was Air New Zealand, it's going to be noisier. So they're quite pleased. So, there's two sides to the story. There are some people who are very unhappy about the closure of Air New Zealand's flights in and out, but there are others who are quite happy about it. So you've got to look at it that way. The other thing I think more concerning...
Hold on. On the noise one, we know that the amount of noise levels down there has dropped considerably since Noel Robinson took over. You don't have the massive Bristols pulling those from gliders. They used to make a lot of noise. And the Air New Zealand Q300 ones, they are silent, relatively silent. So the type of planes that will land here, they're not going to be jet planes. So you wouldn't have the level of noise. And also we have got a noise management committee that sits down there, which has got EV representatives and community board representatives and independent chair, and they do regular reports every year to council.
Yes.
And there's a complaints mechanism for it. And I haven't heard much problems since the Bristols were taken out and since the helicopter training was taken out.
Yeah. The other thing I think more important is how long is the airport going to last as an airport? Well,
put it this way. Changing the zoning for an airport, because there's a current zoning for the 40 acres, hectares of land which is zoned airport, it is not an easy thing. It may take 2 years to just get that off the ground. And there are other district plan issues surrounding that, which will push it for another 1-2 years. And if the public are averse to any changes, and we have a large number of people here who feel, even though it's a privately owned airport, they think that it is our airport. There's that sense of ownership, which is because this airport is about 80 years old.
Yeah, it would be about that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and so therefore there's a lot of sort of socio-cultural concept of ownership over the airport. And so there would be people who would object. So there'll be appeals to any consenting process, and it'll just be messy and with no guaranteed outcome. So therefore, I think hard-nosed business people like the Todd Property Group wouldn't want to go in that direction, given the length of time it'll take to unfold, and in the meantime, your asset is just sitting there doing what?
Yes. Well, they could have other smaller operators until that time,
yes.
I suppose, couldn't they?
Yeah, and it may well prove to be successful because of the fact that we are a growing area. And we really need that very fast connection to Auckland, which is our link to the globe.
And then again, somebody said to me, I don't want to be flying in a small plane to Auckland. They're just not happy with that. They'd like a big plane. Well,
look,
smaller planes are quite happy.
Okay. Yeah, this is a market.
Yeah.
This is what it is. You want a quick, and you want a big plane. You go to Wellington, and in the meantime you fight through the traffic congestion, and then you got parking problems. Well, that's your choice.
Yep. It's a very awkward one, and well, what's the next step in this? Just to wrap it up, Guru, is the council going to get in behind it and say, hey,
No. We are having conversations with the ministers. We are also arranging conversation with Chatham Alliance. We are having conversations with airport, Todd Properties.
Yes.
So we need to be talking this through, and this is not something that can be done like overnight.
No. And then we've got to think of the staff down there and the cafe, etc. They're going to be badly affected.
I went down there last Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday that I went down, or Thursday, and Nathan Guy was also down there. So we went around talking to the cafe owners, some of the staff, and in fact the cafe owners said that they didn't know anything was happening. All they knew was there was a meeting in one of the rooms with some of the staff there, and one of the girls came out crying, but then she thought it must be some personal affair or something of the sort, without realizing that this is the issue whether the job's going to be there or what.
Yes.
So everybody got a surprise.
Good. Now, we'll forget about the airport now. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. You guys will be fighting for it. But did you go down to the Freedom Camping Horrors, where the Minister of Tourism, Kelvin Davis, called a meeting of 29 mayors? Were you involved in that?
They've picked up on places which are danger points for them, places where there were problems with Freedom Campus. So by the very fact that we didn't feature in that list of about 29 or 21 councils, we are lucky that we're not. We haven't got huge problems like that. But we did get a briefing from the councillors or the mayors who attended there. It's a huge problem for a lot of them. I mean, and also it has got to be customized. Some mayors like the fact that they can have places for Freedom Campus. Others don't want them.
No, that's dead right. I think we've got ours under reasonable control, have we? I mean, Waik and we had a lot of trouble up there for a while, but I think that's...
I think when you say trouble, it can also mean the number of complaints you get, and sometimes it can be multiple complaints from the same person.
Yeah.
But we don't have much problem there, and I think we are using the Reserves Act and stuff to be able to shut down any sort of problem behavior. We don't have a freedom camping bylaw as such. The government is working on one. It's better to hitch our wagon to what they are doing rather than spending, $60, $70, or $90,000 creating our own.
Yes, that's dead right. All right, Guru, we'll let you get back. I know you're flat out today, but thanks very much for your time this morning.
Okay,
Talk to you next Monday.
106.3 Beach FM.